All right, welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today, and this one's interesting, really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at how the whole U.S. college system could change, like completely change.
Wow. Okay, that's a big one.
Yeah, it is. So we're going off of some stuff written about something called the AIPE model.
AIP.
Yeah, it's AIPE, and it's all about using AI, artificial intelligence, to personalize education.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I mean, we've seen AI popping up everywhere these days, but education, that's a whole other ball
That's what I
games.
thought. So our kind of like our mission today is to figure this AIP thing out. What is it? How would it work? And like what kind of impact could it really have?
I'm in. Let's do it.
Okay, so first things first. AIP stands for AI-driven personalized education ecosystem.
AI-driven personalized education ecosystem. Got it.
And it's the brainchild of this guy, Osaretin Bear.
Okay, so who is this guy? Some kind of tech guru.
He's a human-computer interaction expert and an entrepreneur.
Pretty impressive, right? Definitely sounds like someone who could shake things up.
And he claims this AIPE model is a complete game changer for U.S. colleges.
Big claim.
Yeah.
So how's it supposed to work? What makes it so different?
Well, it's got these five like key features. They're all in the stuff we're looking at. And the first one is AI-powered adaptive learning platforms.
Okay, that sounds pretty high tech. Break it down for me.
So imagine software that, it learns as you learn. Like if you're getting stuff quickly, it gives you harder things.
So it challenges you to keep pushing further.
Right. But if you're struggling, it gives you more help, more resources, whatever you need.
So it's constantly adjusting to your pace and style, not like just watching a pre-recorded lecture, huh?
Exactly. And this is happening all the time, in real time.
That's wild. But what about the teachers? Where do they fit in all this?
Well, that's where the second feature comes in. Real-time data analytics for instructor feedback. So it's not about replacing teachers. It's about giving them better information.
Okay, I can see that. Instead of just grades, they get a deeper understanding of how students are actually learning.
Yeah. Imagine a dashboard that shows, like, maybe a whole bunch of students are getting stuck on one specific concept.
Right. That's a red flag for the teacher to maybe explain it differently or spend more time on it.
Exactly. It's about using data to help teachers be more effective. Now, this next feature is where things get really cool. VR and AR.
VR and AR, like virtual reality and augmented reality in the classroom.
Yeah. Think about it. Let's say you're, I don't know, an engineering student,
Wait, I'm following.
and you're learning about building bridges, right?
Mm-hmm.
With VR, you could actually design a bridge, like virtually.
Well, hold on. You're saying they could, like, see the bridge they're building in a virtual world?
Yes. And they can test it, see what happens when they change stuff, all in this safe, simulated environment.
That's way more hands-on than anything we have now. Talk about immersive learning.
Right. And it's not just engineering. It can be applied to almost anything.
Yeah. I'm seeing the possibilities here. This could really revolutionize how we teach.
All right. So feature number 4 is about connecting what you learn in school with, the real world. It's community-based mentorship programs and industry partnerships.
So, bridging the gap between academia and the job market. That's smart.
Yeah. Imagine students getting mentored by people who are actually working in their field
Mm.
and connecting with companies looking for their skills.
Oh, yeah. That's way more helpful than just graduating with a degree and hoping for the best.
It's about being ready to work from day one. And finally, the fifth feature, this is a mouthful, it's inclusive, competency-based progression and credentialing.
Okay, that one's a bit dense. Can you unpack that a little?
So you know how nowadays a lot of employers are looking for very specific skills.
Yeah, like they want to know exactly what you can do, not just what classes you took.
Right. So with this competency-based thing, it's not about how long you sit in the classroom. It's about what you can actually do.
So you could earn like a micro-credential in data analysis, even if you haven't finished your whole degree.
Exactly. And that could give you a real edge when you're looking for a job.
I see how that could be appealing to students. But, we've talked a lot about how AIP works. What about the impact? Like, what are the actual benefits?
Well, the material highlights 4 main benefits. First, it could make college way more accessible for people who normally have trouble getting there.
Okay, like students in rural areas, people with disabilities, first-generation college students, those kinds of folks.
Exactly. It could remove those barriers and give everyone a chance.
That's a big deal. What about the other benefits?
Well, personalized learning, obviously, that should lead to better results for everyone.
Makes sense. Tailoring the education to the individual instead of a one-size-fits-all approach.
And then there's affordability. They're saying AIP could actually make college cheaper because you wouldn't need as many instructors.
That's a big claim. I wonder if that would really pan out.
Yeah, that's something to consider. And the last benefit is workforce preparation, which we already talked about a bit.
Yeah, the whole idea aligning education with what employers actually want, that's a win-win.
Okay, so AIP sounds pretty awesome on paper, but let's be real, changing the whole U.S. college system, that's a massive undertaking.
Yeah. Where do you even begin with something like that?
Well, the source material actually has a three-step implementation plan. The first step is getting everyone on board, like educators, policymakers, tech developers, everyone who needs to be involved.
Right, building a coalition of the willing, that's got to be step one.
Yeah. Step two is piloting programs.
Yeah.
You can't just roll this out nationwide overnight, right? You got to test it out, see what works, what doesn't.
Yeah. Start small, work out the kinks, then scale up what works.
Exactly. And then the final step is constant evaluation. Like, you're always checking, is this actually making things better?
Right. And not just looking at graduation rates. It's about whether students are really learning, if they're finding good jobs, if it's actually making education fairer for everyone.
Okay, so before we wrap up, let's talk a little more about this Osaretin Agbon of Bear guy, the one who came up with all this.
Yeah, what's his story?
Well, he's Nigerian, but he's based in the U.S. He founded a company called BPCMG LLC, and he's all about using AI to solve problems. He really wants to make a difference.
I can respect that. He's putting his money where his mouth is, so to speak.
And if anyone wants to learn more about him or his work, they can visit his website at www.osaretinagbon.com or email him at osaretincareers@gmail.com.
Cool. I might have to check that out myself. So, big question. Do you think this AIP thing is really going to happen? Will it actually revolutionize college?
It's hard to say. It's definitely a bold vision, and it's got a lot of potential,
Yeah.
But there are also going to be a lot of challenges.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, even if it doesn't completely change everything, it could still spark some really important conversations about the future of education.
Totally. It's making us think about how we can use technology to make education more personalized, more accessible, more effective, and maybe even a little bit more exciting.
Okay, I'll buy that. It's definitely food for thought.
So here's a question for everyone listening. Think about your own education or your career. If this AIP model actually happened, how do you think it would change things for you?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Something to ponder.
All right, that's about all the time we have for this deep dive. But the conversation doesn't have to end here. If you're interested in this, definitely look into AIP or check out Osaretin Agbon of Bear's work. It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah, thanks for bringing this to our attention. It's given me a lot to think about.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.